Welcome to Unit 10, Contributing to the Identification of Work Teams in the Workplace. This unit has a credit value of 8, which makes it a small to medium size unit. Tip of the day. As always, read through all of the learning outcomes and listen to the audio guidance podcasts with regards to your candidate statements. Plan your answers with bullet points and carefully select pieces of product evidence to suit many of the learning outcomes. Please do all this prior to commencing fully with the first learning outcome. And remember, all that is required are good candidate statements and 2 to 4 pieces of evidence to complete this unit. If you plan this unit in that way, you will complete successfully and quickly, and this is the fast track way. Unit overview. As mentioned, this has a credit value of 8, which makes it a medium to small unit, and has 4 short learning outcomes. This is perhaps the smallest unit so far. Now, a key word in the title of this unit is contributing. The whole title, Contributing to the Identification of Work Teams in the Workplace. Contributing. Why do I see that as key? Well, a construction manager, it's not his role or his responsibility to fully organise, implement and maintain a recruitment and selection process. There are others in the company who would generally take care of that. Human resources, project management. But a construction site manager has a responsibility to contribute to the identification of the work teams in his workplace. So remember, when you're completing this unit, the responsibility is not wholly yours. Right, we talked about contributing. Let's put a comment here, hassles. What is it that what are the hassles that a construction manager can have if he does not have a good work team in place? Could have a shortage of labour, inadequate or inexperienced labour or staff, or a skill base shortage to complete the project on time. Those are the hassles. As construction managers, we don't like hassles. So let's see what we can do about them. It's your task in this unit to evidence the correct methods of gaining the correct skill base, that's contributing to, and staff cover, and cover, and ideally an overlap of both where possible to cover for holidays and sickness, etc. It's your task in this unit to evidence how you achieved gaining a good team via a correct and established recruitment and selection process or processes, which plans and succeeds to identify, locate and select a cost-effective, safe and professional competent working team to suit the project and the project programme. So that's quite a mouthful and quite daunting, but let's break it down into the learning outcomes. There are 4 short learning outcomes as mentioned, and I'm going to add at the end of each learning outcome suitable product evidence. You'll see some pieces of evidence I mentioned again and again. It might be worth adding those to your evidence list. So, one other thing, product evidence. These are just my suggestions. You don't have to stick wholly to them. Your company might have different practices and procedures, and please use the practices and procedures, evidence those, the ones you are familiar with. The product evidence I suggest are there for guidance purposes only. So let's have a look at learning outcome number 1. Identify any factors which will affect the number, type and availability of people and services. when you review the candidate statements or the audio guidance for the candidate statements, that will give greater insight. What I'm going to mention here is just some types of product evidence that could suit this first learning outcome. So learning outcome, identify any factors which will affect the number, type and availability of people and services. Could be the construction phase health and safety plan, that has relevant information. Subcontractor vetting form, project planning labour allocation meeting minutes, a subcontractor tender return, or confirmation of availability correspondence stroke email. Number 2, evaluate and record the quality and potential reliability of people or services and circulate results to decision makers. So this learning outcome is split into 2. Evaluate and record the quality and potential reliability of people and services. So that could be subcontractor vetting form again, contractor selection requirements or references, or you could have your own preferences that you've put forward at a planning meeting with your project manager. Annual reviews or an interview assessment record. These are the type of product evidences that are suitable here. Number 3, negotiate and agree proposals which are likely to produce effective teams. This is where a construction manager has a voice. Negotiate. You do the negotiating and agree. You agree with your project manager or other company team members. Proposals which are likely to produce effective teams. Subcontractor pre-start meeting minutes. You might want to, in those, include conversations where you've stipulated exactly the amount of labour you want on site. Labour allocation planning meeting minutes. You have those at project level at planning. Company employee promotion and selection correspondence or employee reviews. Construction phase health and safety plan, and again the subcontractor vetting forms or appraisals. And number 4, fuller rules and formalities for obtaining people and services. Here you might have subcontract vetting forms, contracts of employment and conditions. You might have some agency paperwork, pre-start meeting minutes, reference requests and completed references. So reference requests and completed references. So these are the types of product evidence that you can supply for this unit.